All right, everybody, we've got another little video here for the channel on some gunsmithing projects. This is going to be a fairly short one, straightforward. What we're going to be doing today is a pin and weld on this SKS that we've already got in the vise. As you can see, it's a little shorter than it needs to be right now, but the customer wants this brake on it, and we are going to pin and weld this, and we're going to come out with about 16.5 inches when we're done. The gun right now, the end of the muzzle is at about 14.5. Once we thread this on, we'll be on out a little past 16, and already got it threaded. It's a video we'll do on a different day, but this part of it, it's already timed. I actually set the shoulder back so that the brake times when I tighten it down. I'm going to step over to the drill press, and I'm going to go ahead and open up their hole to a 1/8 inch because that's what I like to use, and I'm going to drill that out. And we're going to use a piece of air hardening drill rod in it, so when I TIG it, it's going to get hot and it's going to temper up a little bit and get hard. So if somebody tries to wrench this off, they're going to take all the threads with it. It'll be obvious that it was put on permanently or meant to be. So we'll get over to the drill press and drill that, and then we'll come back and use the drilled hole as a pilot for the hole we're going to put in the barrel. We're not going to go through, of course. We're just going to put a dimple so that basically goes to the root of the threads. All right, we're going to get after it. All right, we've got our muzzle brakes set up here in the vise on the drill press. We're going to go ahead and open that hole that they've already conveniently put there for us up to 1/8 of an inch. So I've got my 1/8 inch bit, and I've got some 1/8 inch drill rod that we're going to use as the actual pin. So let's go ahead and get this knocked out, go over and use the hole that we put in here for the pilot to put our dimple on the barrel. All right, so we got our hole in there, and our drill rod should be a nice close fit like so. All right, we're going to go back over to the gun, and we're going to spot that hole in the barrel that we need, and we'll torque this down, break out the welding machine, and TIG this thing up real quick. It'll take but a few minutes. All right, so I've done something here you guys will probably notice. I've changed my drill bits. I've got a shorter one, and I'm going to show you why. This right here will allow you to set your depth, how deep you want it to go. We certainly don't want to go that deep. That would be wrong. As you can see, I've got the drill set using the chuck of the drill as the stop. So as long as you've got your chuck tightened down well, it's not going to push in, but you always check it and make sure by doing that before you drill through the barrel into the bore, which gets expensive. We don't like doing that, so we're not. So once you got your drill set to the desired length, go ahead and thread your brake in place. Make sure that your threads and your brake are oil free because we're going to be welding this. We don't want the oil to contaminate the weldment. So go ahead and thread this on. I've already degreased it. The oil you see here is not on the threads. And grab a little bit of a torque making device here. One of those right behind you there, Chad. Thank you, sir. All right, that is good and square. Like I said previously, we had turned the threads and timed it to this particular muzzle brake so we don't have to use a crush washer to get our timing. When you're cutting threads and shoulders, you have the luxury of doing that. That's the way it should be done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this little divot here. More speed. All right. All right, we're at our full depth. So we'll get that out of there and put the drill out of the way. Now, we won't be using any filler rod because we don't need to. What we've got is the material itself that's going to be the locking pin. We're going to cut it off just proud of the hole, and then we're going to also chamfer that hole a little bit so the weld puddle will have somewhere to go instead of making this big nasty lump. So we'll do that real quick with the chamfering tool, and then we'll cut this off to the length we need. We got our chamfer and our drill here, and we're just going to pop this with a little chamfer. Like so. A little air to blow all this stuff clean. Now that chamfer, like I said, will leave us a bit of a spot for the weld puddle to go and make it nice and flat. If we do it right, probably won't even have to do any dressing work on it. All right. Good there. So something I'm going to do with this particular piece of rod is go ahead to the grinder there and profile the tip so that it's the same profile as the end of the drill bit, which is 135 degrees included angle, and that will let this sink directly to the bottom of that hole and give us the best contact there. So there's the modification, just a slight taper to a point there so that it mimics the drill's point profile. So it'll sink right directly to the bottom of the hole. Put that in there. Get this light out of my way. There we are. All right, and we're going to give it just a little tap tap with a hammer to make sure that it's seated. Okay, sounds solid, so it's down all the way. All right, we're going to take just a little bench knife here and score it. Yep, got this noticeable little score mark on that. Pop it back out, and it may be hard to see in the lighting, but if you look, you'll see that scoring around there. So we're just going to cut it off just above that scoring, and we'll have just that one little segment left. We're going to use that as our filler and our pin at the same time. So let me go chop this off real quick. We've got our little piece here. We're going to drop it in place, tap it down until it stops. Don't worry about the cut looking a little raw there. It doesn't matter. It's going to get welded in just a moment or two. Good and solid. All right, I'm going to get the welder out and we'll be firing that up momentarily. So we got our TIG set up. You can hear it running in the background there. Just running a 30-second tungsten with one of the multi-purpose mixes, so it does good with steel, aluminum, and such. Running about 60 amps should be plenty for this because this is just going to be a little spot weld really with high frequency start. So we're going to go ahead and go on this. So we're going to put the shade in front of the camera lens so you guys can watch. That's pretty much it. We'll just clean that up a little bit and throw a little bit of touch-up finish on it and she'll be all done. A little degrease here. A little scuffing with some Scotch-Brite. Getting the oxides off the top. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of 4440. That's still pretty warm, so I'm going to grab a rag to do this with. Alright. Like they say, 4440 instant gun blue. buff it, spray it with a little bit of oil. Wipe it clean, and there we go. We've got ourselves a pinned and welded and legal length SKS with a cool brake on it. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video, maybe learned something. Thanks again, guys. Have a good day.